Hey everybody, it's Brent in Central Arkansas. Today's video is about vertical gardening and how I'm going to grow for the 2022 season. I'm going to grow everything vertically, almost everything vertically, and part of doing that is taking care of situations where plants don't normally grow vertically, like melons. And today's video is about creating a sling that I can use over and over to support melons, both watermelons and cantaloupes. So that's what this video is about today. What I've come up with is not the usual thing you see, pantyhose and that sort of thing online, but it's something I think is a little more versatile, very inexpensive. So let me show you. All right, here are my supplies. I've got regular tomato twine. I've got what's called nursery pots or fabric pots, and all this is just essentially material, can't open it up, that opens like this, and you can stuff it with soil. We're going to use it for another purpose. And we have tomato clips. This is a tomato truss support clip. And scissors. Okay, so these are the materials I chose mostly because I had them on hand. I did order the larger fabric pots. I have a video on the watermelon where I showed a smaller fabric pot that I bought originally to use to cover squash flowers to keep them from pollinating each other. It's a breeding thing. But I discovered that these things are really durable, and so I thought it'd be a great pouch to create the sling out of. So I did purchase these. 100 of them are about 15 bucks. Tomato twine, about the same for 6,300 square feet, I think. Yeah, 6,300 square feet. The tomato clips are less than $10, 8 bucks for 100. So all of these are about, I don't know, $30 or so. But the thing is that you don't have to use these materials. It can be like nursery fabric, any kind of string instead of tomato twine. It's just that I chose these because these are breathable and tomato twine is very durable outside. And the tomato clip itself I use because what it does is allows me the flexibility to use it over and over and over, hang it in different locations on the actual trellis. And well, I'll show you what it looks like in the end here. So let's get started. I'm going to take one of these. This is 11 by 11 inches, I believe, if I got that right, 11 by 10 inches anyway. So this one is the largest one. That way it can hold a very large melon, say 20 pounds or so, with no problem whatsoever. I don't plan on growing any kind of melon that gets that big. My melons are more icebox size, and my watermelons are, and my actual melons, my cantaloupe melons, are about the same size. They're both about 10 pounds or less. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the side and I'm going to cut along here to a certain point on both sides there, and on the flip side the same thing. So let me do that. I'll just do it in real time. So with that $30 or so, you can make it like 100 of these, no problem. I won't need that many. Well, I hope I do, but I probably won't use that many. So let me just show you the fabric here. And this stuff is, I'm using all my strength and I can't get it to tear. So you can imagine, I'm not a small guy. I used to actually lift weights, but that's irrelevant because all I'm telling you right there we go, is it's difficult to tear, very difficult. So easily support 20-25 pounds. cut on the other side, the same thing, mirror it. So I need to find out where approximately, there we go. Alright, so I've taken the extra, and what I've got now, you can see, is the sides remove, and it creates, because the way these things are made, a cup. Most melons are going to be roundish. Not most melons, I don't know of any that don't have some sort of roundness to them. So this will fit in here, and these sides will drape up and secure the melon to where, you know, it'll be secure. Alright, so now I'm going to take some tomato twine here. I'm going to cut 4 lengths. The first length's about, I would call that about 2 feet. So I'm going to take 2 here, lengths that are 2 feet. Put them there. And then I'm going to take 2 lengths that are about 1 foot. And now I'm going to tie these to the fabric pots. The first length I'm going to put here, and I'm going to do the, I'm going to face them inwards. I'll show you that. Let me move this one out of the way. So I'm going to take and fold this over like so. I'm going to hold, actually let me, I don't know why I'm doing it real time. I got to make a loop first. I got to make these into a loop. There. So now I've taken the 2 foot section, I made a loop. Now I'm going to put that knot in the fold here. So I've got, I don't know, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches worth of material folded backwards facing inside. That way when I pull it like this, it gathers, and I've got that extra gap over here. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a 1 foot piece of tomato twine, and I'm going to wrap it around here. Just like so. And I'm going to tie it off the first time. I'm going to double it so it grabs really nicely. I just do it a couple times. And then take the scissors and cut off the excess. Like so. So now, because I've folded it over on itself and secured it around, all the weight is on this area where the string is going to be pulling, and that will hold quite a lot of weight. I'm going to stop the camera, I'm going to do the other side, and then I'll bring you back. Alright, I've completed it. I've done both sides now. You got a long loop here on both sides, and it's secured, and we have the pouch. Just like so. So now, as you can imagine, it will go around the melon and then be clipped up. So let me show you something else, and the reason why I created the loops this long. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to wrap over itself in 2 locations, just like that, so that I have 3 connection points in the line. I've got one here on the very end that I can take this and loop into. I've got one that's a little further down here that I can loop into, and of course on the very bottom here. And what that does is that'll accommodate a melon at different stages of growth if they're really big. So let me do the other side. Approximate here. Perfection's not the point of this exercise. So this is not end all be all. This is just an idea, something I came up with, and something that you can use and modify to hopefully get some thoughts outside of the pantyhose box, which everybody seems to be using, pantyhose or t-shirts. I just don't find that very practical because of how difficult it is to do. And I can't imagine that potentially fruit's going to be lost trying to do all that tying up and stuff, so having to be extra careful. Okay, so now I've got this. I'm going to put this, this is a container, coffee mate container. This is just what I use for putting my coffee. And it's a container that's about the size of the melons that I'm going to be growing. And so, like I said, it'll hold anything this size. It'll even hold bigger. I tried it in a 1 gallon milk container too. But I'm going to put it around here so you can kind of see how it loops up the side here all the way around. It's got that sucker well done here. And so if I take the tomato clip and I go on one side here, and I go on another side here, I can grab it at full size here, and all I've got to do here, or all I have to do now, is take the end and hang it any point on the trellis. So I'm going to use cattle panels and grow these vertically on a cattle panel, but that is quite a bit of support, and you can see that you're not going to worry about losing a melon, it flopping out or breaking or tearing or something like that. And the sun won't damage these at any point during the duration of the grow. So if the melon was bigger, I could take and put them up here. That'll allow the melon to grow this much bigger. If the melon is smaller, putting it like this on the same one would take the smallest of melons here. It would just collapse it a little further down, and then you can hang it up at any location. So it's a really good thing, I think, for me, and a great winter hobby as I await the upcoming season. Additionally, you can take and fold them like this and store them in any location. I mean, I'll put them in one of these containers, probably about 50 or so of these, since I've got all the material to make them. So that's it. It's just another type of sling that you can use instead of the status quo. Feel free to use it if you like. Hopefully you like this video. If you do, thumbs up it, like it, and all that kind of stuff. I sure appreciate you. This is Brent. We'll see you later.